Saki Sanobashi, the lost anime. Anime is extremely popular the world over. Many of us enjoy watching things like shonen, action, and things alike. However, I tend to like older anime, like Akira and Perfect Blue. Older anime didn't shy away from things like violence, sex and gore. A far cry from the cartoons here in the West. One night, I had my friends over. We had this tradition that every month we get together and binge watch anime the entire night. As we brainstormed which anime to binge, one of my friends suggested something very obscure. Saki Sanobashi. All of us were puzzled. What's so obscure about it? I asked. Well, for starters, it can only be found on the deep web, on a hentai gore site. This is according to my brother, who gave me instructions on how to get there, which I've written down. My brother is an avid explorer of the deep web. And secondly, the story behind it is scarier than the anime itself. I'll save the story from when we finish watching it. It's at least 30 minutes. Alright, I guess, I responded. My other friends were enthusiastic about it as well. After some time setting up the PC and whatnot, my friend proceeded to search for the video, based on the instructions. He found it within 20 minutes of intense searching and fierce scrolling. There it was. Saki Sanobashi. My friend explained it was animated around the 80s, and that it was very cheaply made. We all thought nothing of it, really, but boy were we wrong. The first 15 minutes. The anime opened with 9 girls stuck in a large bathroom, without doors, windows or mirrors. Only one faucet was drawn. These girls were all animated in a similar fashion, with only the hair being distinguished. Bear in mind, absolutely no effort was put into this. All of the movement came from their mouths, and the shots were all the same. One was of them sitting together in a group, and the rest were similar individual shots, with only the hair being changed. What's more, it had no audio. Only subtitles in Japanese, which were translated in English. It is not known how they got there in the first place, but one could piece together theories based on their life stories. As an example, one of the girls, who had a hime blonde haircut, was the daughter of a Yakuza member, while the other, same face but with black hair and no bangs, was of a well-established politician. Think what you want of the information, but I can care less. That is the least important information. The mood of the anime starts out very positive. These girls, despite their circumstances, have the hope that they'll find a way out. One was religious. She cited how her belief in God gave her promise of a happy ending. The 2 others with powerful parents believe they'll find them, just in time. Everything happens for a reason in life, one said. At this point, I thought it was pretty odd. They act so calmly considering the situation. But my friend assured me to go on with it. The girls told philosophical stories to each other. The screen faded to black. The last 15 minutes. A red text appeared in Japanese. Translated to English, it said 5 days later. At this point, the girls looked as if they were starving. The eyes were as lifeless as the body. As it turns out, none of them had eaten for 5 days. The blonde girl with the hime cut even mentioned that she couldn't go to sleep out of hunger and pure fear. After a silent montage of each of the girls, the screen cut to the blonde girl, screaming and yelling. The only audio throughout the whole video. My god, it sounded so authentic. The same girl proceeded to smash her head onto the wall. I lost count of how many times she did. What shocked me the most was that none of the girls bothered to help her. My god, the drawings were so precise, despite how cheaply it was made. Only a madman could have made this. Suddenly, the montage started yet again. This time, it cut to one of the girls, scratching her neck intensely, letting out as much blood as she could. A few other girls followed. The girl with the black hair asked one of the girls to drown her in the sink, because she simply couldn't do it herself. I witnessed her being held down by a friend as she drowned. The anime ended with a shot of the girls lying down in the bathroom floor, all of them dead. The screen then faded to black. "What the hell, man?" shouted one of my friends. We were all shocked, but we kept our composure. Honestly, I was pretty desensitized to this stuff. However, I wasn't prepared for what my friend explained afterward. Truth was, the anime was written and mostly drawn by a serial killer who had lurked in the shadows of Japan, beginning in the 80s. The anime was supposedly created before he drugged and trapped those innocent girls in the bathroom. But it is said that the audio of the blonde girl screaming was from one of his previous victims. It is estimated he took around 6 years, starting in the late 70s, to complete the animation by himself, which would explain the very cheap quality of it. He was never found. The only thing they found was the infamous bathroom alongside the bodies and the tape containing the anime. For a long time, the anime was stored away, only to be rediscovered in 2018 after a leak. It is theorized the police preserved the tape digitally for further study. Due to censorship, you couldn't find it on the regular web. Anyway, the only reason I wrote this was to bring attention to the case in hopes they eventually find and catch whoever did this, and bring justice to the innocent girls murdered.